welcome to the today's session on the overcome manufacturing challenges with additive manufacturing. Before getting into the session, I would like to introduce myself. Kaladhar. I take care of the digital manufacturing vertical in EDS Technologies, and I have almost 25 years of experience in various roles in EDS as well as the other companies. So the idea of today's session is, just to set the context, I just want to highlight what will be the flavor of today's session with the introduction on topics what I'm going to cover. So first I will be talking about the EDS as well as the UIS, the partnership, and then I'll be coming with the technology updates with our portfolio, and then today's main topic is addressing the customer challenges. I can say it's not just one from the particular vertical. I'll be covering the multiple verticals where you can see the different domains as well as the challenges faced by the customer, how our AM solutions is addressing with some specific examples, and then I'll be ending up with my presentation on the ecosystem of UIS. So first of all, I would like to thank all the participants by taking your time, and hope in case if you have any queries, please raise the queries through the chat box, and we will be addressing that in either in between or at the end of the presentation. So to start with, I'm from EDS, and it's about 25 years old company. Started our operations in 1994. And dedicated focus on PLM and engineering solutions, and we are the premium partner to Dassault Systems. I mean, associated with the Dassault System for almost 24 years, and having the customer base of 1,500 customers. I can say a very large customer base in case of any given PLM solution company. And we have offices across the country, 7 offices, and corporate is from Bangalore. And I am based out in Chennai and other regions. We have the sales and support offices. Also, we have the not only just the Dassault Systems and UIS. We also have the strategic alliance partnership with the world leaders like Ramsys, Transcat, which Ramsys is going to address the different ergonomics related activities in aero as well as the automotive segments. Whereas the Transcat is again the supplementary product in case of the Dassault Systems. So across the country, we have the dedicated sales and support as well as the marketing teams, wherein to quickly address the customer challenges, customer support related issues by locating into their nearby places. Apart from this, I would like to emphasize our own platform, that is e-learning portal. So with the state-of-art experience of past 25 years, we built our e-learning portal on different CAD/CAM solutions, beginning with the CATIA, AutoCAD, as well as the SolidWorks, and then including some of the manufacturing solutions like Delmia. So, and analysis packages. So a complete platform is built on the market requirements by using our expertise. And as a company, we have the complete integration skills with the dedicated focus on end-to-end solutions to the customer. So here I would like to just brief about the UIS. It's again 30 years old company. The company is founded in 1989, and it's a German-based company. So they have the different solutions, especially the additive manufacturing is the key business for them, where solutions they are providing for both polymers as well as the metals, along with the some of the software services solutions and consulting business. So the AM, again, I want to emphasize there is a different verticals we are going to address with our solutions, like aerospace, tooling, industrial equipments, and lifestyle products, and automotive. So these are some of the top segments what I can say our solutions is being extensively used. So if you look at the global install base of UIS, I can say it's about 5,000 plus systems is being sold across the globe, out of which about 54% metal systems and 46% about the polymer systems. So here I just want to emphasize one more. I mean, they are recently started a new plant with a capacity of 1,000 systems per year to address the market needs, increasing demand across the globe. And this setup is now serving with not only just the machines, they're also giving the kind of certified equipments to the customers based on the country needs. So here I would like to introduce about how our technology works, the principle of working with additive manufacturing in our solutions. So the here we use the laser sintering process, the predominantly both polymers as well as the metals. We use the laser sintering process, and how the laser sintering process, once our CAD model is ready, what it does is the geometry model will be imported into the 3D systems AM machine. It has got the inbuilt software which can read the CAD models in the STL format, and the complete STL format or data can be sliced into the particular thicknesses. So based on my quality needs, I'll be slicing the components, and then I'll be printing the part layer by layer by using the sintering process. So here you can look at the component. Once I built, taken the CAD model will be sliced into the, sliced vertically with the different layers. So layer thickness can be defined based on the quality needs as well as the surface quality of the parts requirement. Here, once the component is ready, machine will read the first cross section of the part and then start building the component step by step. And that I would like to illustrate something like this. So the first, you can look at the chamber, the powder chamber. Initially the powder coating, the material powder, it could be a metal as well as the plastic. The powder will be spreaded into the chamber, and we call it as a recoat. And then we will warm up the material to the particular temperature. So let us say in case of plastics, I'll be warming up the our chamber, so that the utilization of the laser is again costly affair. So what we do is we'll preheat the materials to the particular temperature based on the material characteristics, and then we will be start using the laser by reading the cross section from the CAD data, and it will start exposing the laser on top of the material, which will allow you to melt the material. And again, once the one layer of the cross section is built, then the build chamber will go down by another layer will be spreading on top of the first layer. Then again laser process will be taken care. Both the layers will be getting solidified each other. The complete component will be built into the chamber. So once my component is ready, then I'll be removing the part from the chamber and carrying out the post-processing activities. So in short, that is our principle of working with the laser sintering technology. And I would like to first emphasize why additive manufacturing and what are the roads to success with additive manufacturing. Here, first, the major challenges with the conventional manufacturing. One is, we have to work with the limited complexity. I cannot produce the component the way I think or the way part demands. So that is the key problem when we are working with the traditional or conventional manufacturing methods. The second is, the number of operations. I can say there is a limitations in terms of the because of the limitations, I may be producing the more parts to carry out the assembly processes. So to eliminate that, I have one small example here. There is a HETIC. It's an example from the HETIC what they have done. So the washing rotor, look at the 32 components assembly being built with the two parts laser sintered parts with the one steel ring. So completely we are eliminating the assembly processes by printing, because there is no limitation of printing the complex parts with AM technology. unless like conventional methods. Second is enabling a completely new design approach. So when I'm having the freedom to print or freedom to manufacture any complexities, obviously I'll be taking a chance to carry out the optimized design based on the product demands as well as the product needs. So here, what look at the example load bearing engine block from the Within Labs. The new design is not possible with the conventional methods because they exhausted with the optimization with the traditional process. So what they thought is, let's build this part with the additive manufacturing, wherein we have provision to carry out the conformal cooling channels, which can be integrated within the part, and then lightweight by bringing it to the lightweight design. So here, this is the one of the key advantage. There is no limitation of the complexity, and I can optimize the part as the product needs, and then I'll be printing the parts based by using the technology here. So next, from idea to product with the EOS. Here, this is the I want to just give you the brief process how the entire cycle will be carried out using our technology. From the CAD perspective, we all know the basic idea will be generated from the either marketing and R&D team. So from the idea to component will be designed by using the CAD/CAM technologies, and it will be carrying out. We will be carrying out the simulation activities to ensure the certain parameters to meet by the product. So this is the traditional our existing process. What will be from there, the EOS will take over to carry out the production activities. So we have the two variety of machines. At the top of the screen you can see the polymer machines, whereas bottom of the screen you can see the metal systems. Here we will be carrying out the production activities to build the high quality parts using the different software solutions provided by the EOS machine. So machine will be coming along with the softwares where I can optimize the printing, optimize the time, as well as the optimization of the materials too. So complete package will be provided to the customer during the processing time as well as the post-processing time. Then you can also look at the bottom of the screen. There is a EOS state, and this is the monitoring suite. When my component is getting printed, obviously I would like to see each stage, how the quality of the part is getting printed from the machine, or any problems will be noticed. In fact, I can stop the machine and carry out the troubleshooting activity. So we have the provision to identify if any problems are getting while manufacturing or while printing the part. So this is the beauty of our solution. And then once the component is built, the complete component will be removed from the system, and we will be carrying out the post-processing activities. Almost all our parts will allow you to work with post-processing activities like a heat treatment, or you can carry out any kind of machining, grinding activity. Some companies may need the coloring activities, and then the high precision components, if you want to produce, you may be carrying out the again conventional machining activities. So this is the post-processing activities where we will be supporting the customer with our state-of-art solutions. Ultimately, I'll be able to end with the final product with the AM advantage. So we have currently in our portfolio the 4 top selling machines, I can say, to address the different needs of the market. So some customers probably they may need the smaller components. If they want to produce the smaller components, we have the machine starting with the M100, where this is the round table what we'll be using in this machine with the height of 95 mm. So the components with the 100 mm diameter and 95 mm height can be produced using this machine. So here we will be using the 200 watts YB fiber, and the focus diameter will be 40 microns of the laser. So similarly, we have the another popular selling machine, which is M290, where if you want to produce the large components with multi-material options, then we will be recommending to use the M290 machine. There is a few demands from the customer on the production side or large component side. So we have the two top end machines which addresses the large build volume as well as the faster printing capability. So if you look at the M400-4, we have the 4 laser heads. Instead of 1 laser head, we will be using the 4 laser heads to quickly print the parts which suits to the production requirements or batch size production requirements. So this is the another important factor I would like to emphasize on the materials portfolio what we have at EOS. Currently, we have 20 plus powder alloy materials, a combination of ferrous and non-ferrous materials. So here I would like to emphasize one particular point. The data sheets will be given to the each material, and customer will always look at the data sheet and print the parts by using the data sheets and recommended parameters while printing the component, so that they can achieve the right component in the first attempt itself. So that's the concept what we try to emphasize the customers to use our data sheets. And these data sheets also allows customers to redesign or develop the new materials and the new components based on the available portfolio with us. So that is the another advantage what customers will have from our material portfolio. So here you can look at the basic soft materials to until the very strong materials up to the Titan with the different grades. We have the material portfolio, and it will be supplied based on the customer requirement. So next come to I'll just brief about our polymer printers. Here we have the office desktop printers as well as the industrial printers. Combination of both the printers is there in our portfolio. So starting with the 90 mm as a minimum size or build volume, I can say, and then we have sizes up to 800 mm with our 810 machine. So here I am articulating the up to P396 machine, where you can produce the component size of 340 by 340 by 600 mm. But however, in our standard portfolio, we have up to 800 mm parts, printing capability machines. So this is the another area. Most of our customers, would like to understand our material portfolio, especially in the polymers, because there is a many variety of the polymers being used in the different industries. So we have the many grades with to suits to the different applications. So if you look at that, we predominantly have the grades with the nylon. Our very popular 2000 material, which is very multi-purpose materials. It can be used for not only on the aesthetic sides, even in the functional prototype parts can be produced by using this material. Similar way, we have some advanced materials, I can say the composite materials, where if you want to attain certain material properties, let us say if I want to produce the high stiffness parts, so along with the polyamide 12 grade, we may be adding the glass bead filled materials, which will allow you to work with the high stiffness and high wear resistance capabilities. So typically, it can be used in the stiff housings here, and where we need a wear resistance capabilities, these materials will be used. So let us say if I want to produce the component with the machining capability, so I want to carry out any fine machining after component printing, then I may be using the aluminum filled polyamide material. We call it as the alumide. This material will allow customers to carry out the machining after printing. Also, it also gives the feel like a metallic look. So in such application, there is a few applications which will be demanding this, and we will be supplying these materials. So similarly, I would like to emphasize, we can also print the rubber parts by using our polystyrene material. Here, there is one more advantage with our state-of-art materials is we can also produce the patterns for investment casting. If you look at the prime cast material 101 grade, the patterns for investment casting. So let us say investment casting, traditionally they use the wax as a pattern material. where wax has got some issues while pouring the molten material into the mold cavities. So ideally it may create some voids or the gaps or air bubbles inside the parts. That can be eliminated using our technology. I can say if you use this material, the pattern will be evaporated completely. I can say 99.9% of the cases you will find the complete elimination of the prime cast material inside the mold. So similarly, we have the high strength, high performance materials, that is PEEK HV3 material, which we will be predominantly advising the customers who wants to replace the metal parts to the plastic parts. Probably I can cover one of the case study which we have done to our customer maybe at the end of the session. So here I want to, additive manufacturing offers unique solutions. There is a manufacturing organizations facing the different challenges. The primary challenge, what I keep hearing from our customers, is time to market with shorter life cycle. This is the one of the key challenge by the most of the in the current demanding market situations. This is one of the key challenge what our customers are facing. And the productivity increase, then flexibility in terms of the production, then innovation. So if you carry out the innovation, there may be multiple iterations. These iterations cannot be go with the traditional process to build the part and verify the part or value add the parts. So our technology allowing innovators to quickly produce the parts and finalize the designs. And then customization of parts. So probably in the couple of slides I'll be covering this area. And then additive manufacturing advantage. So there is industry challenges, and how we are going to overcome that challenges using our additive manufacturing. The first point I would like to emphasize is freedom of design. So what I feel, what the product demands, irrespective of the complexity, I can create my design, and I can finalize my design, which will be printed through AM technologies, using the AM technology, and which will allow you to work with the light part. So the moment when you are going with the DFAM process, design for additive manufacturing process, obviously the part can be optimized using the analysis solutions, and this analysis solutions will give the irregular shape which normally possible to not possible to carry out with the traditional machine. So those areas can be overcome using our technology. And then the next area is functional integration, and then addressing the different customization requirements by printing the small series of the parts with the high cost effectiveness, and then thereby increasing the productivity using with our AM solutions. So here, I would like to emphasize there is a few case studies which we have come across on different areas of additive manufacturing using our laser sintering technology. So look at the evolution of additive manufacturing. If you look at the prototyping earlier, predominantly prototyping with a lot of limitations, using even including AM, there is a lot of limitations in terms of the materials, sizes, the build quality, as well as the properties. So there is a couple of challenges which has been in the earlier prototyping process. And now today we are able to even address the requirements of the production. I mean, if I want to produce a small batch quantities at a high cost effectiveness, I have the solutions today with the variable material options as well as the printing capabilities using our additive manufacturing technologies. So ultimately, we are going forward with future roadmap. The production needs different capabilities from the AM machines, which can be integratable with their MES solutions. One area I can say that we are already ready with our machines are ready to integrate with any SCADA systems or MES systems if your organization is using. So we have already implemented this capabilities in a couple of our customer cases by taking the complete ownership. So when you look at the AM, we have the wide range of industries covering with our state-of-art solutions. Here, I would like to talk about the aerospace. I can say there is a lot of challenges with the aerospace parts, as well as the material requirements and standard requirements, wherein we have the already pre-approved certifications or certified materials for our parts printed in UAS equipments. Similarly, there is a medical applications, and then industrial equipment areas, and there is a many other challenges we are overcoming using our AM technology in case of tool design and the tool development processes, and lifestyle equipments, and then at last automotive. So automotive, again, their challenges are a bit different from other industries, but still with our AM technologies and material portfolio what we have, we are able to address their immediate demands and progress with their processes. So I would like to take one example here. What one of our customer is carried out aerospace application based part. I can say it's a bionic bracket, a concave bionic bracket. You can see at the top of the screen, there is a bracket which is welded with the two parts, and with the analysis, topology optimization and analysis capabilities, I could able to redesign the component, and then they are able to print that part by using the aluminum materials with the reduction of the weight about 40%. So it was about total weight was about 33%, where they have seen almost a 40% weight reduction in that part. And instead of two parts, they could able to print with one part, and that is one of the key advantage most of our customers are finding. They are trying to bring the complete assembly requirement into the single part or two parts assembly. So this is the one of the recent case study. We have got it from the Airbus. Weight saving partition. Normally you may be looking at the flights, the partitions. So there is a many parts that is been printed with the UAS machine, where they can able to see huge cost savings, and especially they are talking about the CO2 emissions reduction by using this technology and by redesigning this particular area of work with the A320 aircraft. So this has been in the approval stage, and probably in the coming years they will be implementing in their A320 planes. So here one point I want to highlight, you can look at the build chamber. The many components build at a single print. So that is the beauty of our technology. In case of metal parts, probably we may require the supports structures to build the parts. But when it comes to the plastic parts, you may not require any support structures, because the powder itself behaves like a support material for the components. So using this advantage, using our laser sintering technology advantage, I can orient the parts horizontally as well as the vertically, as many as components I can print in one build. So let us say I'm buying the 200 mm by 200 mm machine. Not necessary that I have to print the complete size of the component. I can print the multiple shapes, multiple sizes in one build. That is the advantage, where you will be saving the loading and the unloading time, as well as the post processing time when you are building in a single build. So this is one of the automotive classical example. It's a racer car. The idea is, the challenges with the racer car. Ultimately, the weight matters for them a lot. And now there is a startup company who built the complete axle pivot by using our UAS technology, and thereby reduced the weight by 35%, and their ultimate objective to increase the high rigidity of the parts, which they could able to achieve about 20%. So this is the one of the classical case study I can talk about, where the quantity is not matter, and the quality as well as the functionality matters. So we are having a very good footprint in this kind of challenges situations. So this is another area. I mean, across the manufacturing portfolio, many industries will be using the toolings. Could be a plastic, or could be a metal, or PDCs, or a different variety of the tools. So when it comes to the injection molding, the key challenge what normally injection molding you will be having is the cooling capabilities. So when you have the good cooling capabilities, obviously my production rate may increase. But traditional approach, building the complex cooling capabilities or cooling channels is a key challenge in case of the injection molding. So the parts you can produce, the complex structures can be produced using our technology, where you can see significant, I can say, so almost all the cases I can say 30 to 50% time reduction is possible with our conformal cooling techniques. So the part can be designed which will suit to the conformal cooling, and then print the part quickly. You can build your mold, where you can reduce the cooling time between the two components printing. When you are using injection mold in injection molding machine, normally you may be allowing the component to cool so that the component will be ejected from the mold. So with quick cooling, instead of you can say this case study, it was about 24 seconds what they were spending the time for printing a component, which is being reduced to almost 14 seconds. So they could able to see almost 42% of the time saving per component production, which is huge when you compare with the mass production requirements. So when it comes to the tooling, I want to emphasize this is one area where we are adding the value. This segment especially have the, apart from the design challenges, they also have the manufacturing challenges. And especially when it comes to the tire design, sipes is the key challenge what tire industry will be having. So with our metal portfolio of the machines, we could able to print the sipes directly, irrespective of the complexity. So there is a few customers using the very thin sipes with taper to remove the component. Component has to be ejected from the mold. So you may require to give the taper, which is normally a tough in case of the if you are carrying out the traditional machining processes. So they might be allowing to work with the some press tools as well as the other techniques. But with our technology, I can print any size, any shape, as well as the high precision components directly using our metal machine portfolio. And I can say within India, a couple of customers are already implemented this our technology. And another area I would like to talk about, there is a few tire customers talking on mold production. Complete the what they do is they take the complete tire and they segment the tire into the multiple segments. Normally, let us say 16 segments or 18 segments, 32 pitch. So based on the tire size, they will be segmenting the component. That segments will be manufactured with the traditional machining approach using the CNC machines and all. But the cycle time, when you compare with the AM produced component as well as the traditionally machine, I can say at least considerable time reduction is possible. I can say 40 to 50% of the cases you can see the 60% time reduction. So how we are going to achieve? I mean, we have the special grades to address to the tooling requirements, especially the materials required for the tooling. We have the special grades with us that can be directly used for printing the mold as well as the cavity related parts or inserts. So this is one area we have a couple of case studies, and customers are very happy getting the right feedback. There is a one customer demand I want to produce the complete tire mold within a week's time. So we are working with that customer, how we can able to achieve within a week's time, the complete mold will be built, which can be used for the manufacturing. So that is the one I can say area where we are adding the value to the industry. And the instead of spending the months, when I'm interacting one of my customer here, the SIPE, whatever the SIPE as well as the molds, what they get it from different countries. In case of molds, they import from the Taiwan or China. So it takes minimum 2 to 3 months time for them to bring the molds to India. And again, there is they will be having the different challenges to make use of that on time. So what we are advising to the customer, like you can directly print your segments directly using our technology, and overcome the 3 months cycle time to almost, I can say, 1/3 of the time what they are spending, which is possible with our technology. So this is one example. I would like to take it on the industrial equipment side. It's one of the robo assembly, I can say. It's predominantly, we can call it as a gripper assembly, where they will be holding couple of cables, as well as with the almost 21 parts they were using earlier, and they can able to reduce the cost to 50% using our AM. So instead of multiple parts, they brought it into 3 parts in this case, and which is again, you can see here 80% less weight, leading to smaller robo size. So this is the one of the key advantage. They can able to reduce the robo size also using our AM technology, instead of 21 complex assembly process to ideally to the 1 or 2 parts, which is a huge savings to the customer, and in terms of the materials as well as the time. So this is the another area. I mean, medical, again, there is a considerable change in terms of the market expectations. It needs that, especially when you are talking about the medical, there is a different areas to work with the medical segments. One is on the implant side, second is on the dental side, where we have a lot of case studies, and because they need a bio compatible materials, because it's going to be used inside the human body. So there is a lot of standards where we will be meeting to the customer requirements with our metal portfolio. And this is Otobook, one of our customer case study, where they could able to print the custom orthosis part for one of the patient with our USP 396 machine, using the PA110. It's a medical grade actually. This material is a medical grade, and this will be allowing the patient to use custom shaped components or custom shaped shoe for his requirement based on the doctor advice. So this is the one of the area which we are having the key contribution in the industry, and there is a many bio compatible materials is been accepted and certified, so which we are recommending our customers to use. And recently I can take one of my customer case study in Chennai, like dental college. So they wants to print the complete dental related gums as well as the teeth using our technologies, and that can be fitted into the human body. So that is the one of the key activity which is going on currently with one of our college customers. So this is the one of the classical example. I would like to emphasize, like the conversion of the metal to polymers. There is a significant activities is going on in the industry, and we are seeing the huge benefit using our EOS machines in this area by using our PEEK materials. So I was talking about in my earlier slides, this is the one of the case study where we have the small 20 parts assembly, brought it into the 2 parts, which is a huge saving, the cost per component was about $20, which is brought it down to the $8 per piece. So this is the key advantage with our technology and material grade, what we have like a P822200 grade here. So this is one area where we are emphasizing customers to optimize your designs from the metals to plastic. So next comes to the, value add services. One is, having the printer is one area, and the second is getting the support. So when you are working with the different application requirements, so normally you may have the different challenges, and the support will be required in installation support as well as the qualification of the part, and the material support may be required, which will be taken as a part of our technical support services. And then training, whenever the customer buys the machine, as well as the print the using the machine, obviously they need a lot of hand holding initially until the things will streamline. So our team will be emphasizing the customers to go through our trainings and then build their competency so that they can able to individually run the machine with the different application needs of the materials as well as the parts. So next is like additive minds, irrespective of what machine I am using and what competency I have, there is always scope for the improvement. So we have a key role. This additive minds is the sister concern of EOS company, where they will be looking at the different customization requirements. So let us say I have a particular application requirement with the new material grades. So this company will be working very closely with the EOS customers, and they will be supporting them on the specific requirements, or let us say if I want to build the component of 1 meter, for example, which I don't have in my portfolio. So additive minds will be designing the machine for you and build the machine which suits to your particular requirement, like a concept of SPM, and that will be recommended to you to buy. So this kind of solutions will be adding the value to the customer in case of any challenges, application requirements if customer is facing. So this company especially working with a couple of our customers to work on the large components. They also support the customers to split the components and segment the components and ensure without compromising on the application as well as the property requirements of the parts. So this additive minds, and apart from the additive minds, we also have the large ecosystem, which I will be covering. So what they cover is, when your part is CAD ready, obviously you need to see how I can print this part with the high quality, and then which can meet to my production requirements. So there is a consulting services team from the additive minds who will be helping us to take up the challenges and build a complete flow to that particular customer, so that the process will be established quickly without wasting time. And then I can say the cost per component or cost per component production will be minimized by taking their consultancy services. So this is our ecosystem. I can say it's not just having the machine. Again, there is a different demanding market requirements where EOS has got the partners, and they will be addressing the different needs. So for example, if I am a gold jewelry manufacturing company, so I may require some state-of-art solutions which suits to my geometry, my component, my production requirements. There is a Cooks and Gold company who will be taking up this kind of projects and supporting to the customer, and then they will be reaping the benefits using the technology. So similar way, additive quality partners, and then the technology partners like the CAD side, Dassault Systems, you can see we also have the end-to-end solutions, which particularly when the component is built in the design, which suits to the AM requirement. Obviously, you need to do a lot of back-end activity redesign of the component as well as the topology optimization of the component, and again rebuild the component with the different iterations. All that can be carried out with the DS platform and bring it into the AM mission, where you will be minimizing your mission time and producing the high quality with within the shorter time. So similarly, there is other solutions and where the technology partners are already implemented EOS missions in their portfolio, and it is ERP compatible. There is an integration possibility with the SAP using our AM missions. So some customers need the complete platform to be under the ERP. In such cases, we are recommending this technology partners to allow them to work with our integration tools. So this is the, partial list of our customer base across the globe. All big brands you can see who are using our AM plastic as well as the metal machines. So here you can see not only the aerospace top customers, including the tier 1 level customers as well as the tier 2 level customers in the different industry verticals are using our technology and reaping the benefits. So again, academia footprint is very important because building the competency people for the industry needs is key to be successful in case of the additive manufacturing. So we are also working with very closely almost all the top universities and colleges across the country, and they are using our solutions extensively for the research activities as well as the training activities, where the future ready team will be built from the colleges itself. So this is the end of my slide, and I'm open for a Q&A session now. We have another 10 minutes to go. I would like to take any questions from the participants. The question is, AM has made a tremendous progress over the years. When it comes to AM, the main concern is the cycle time of producing the part. What is the maximum speed with which EOS machines can produce a component? Can you explain with an example? See here, this is the one of the important point. It's a good question, I can say. In the last slide, I was talking about the 4 laser head printer. That is predominantly, yes, additive manufacturing, the layer by layer technology needs some time. But however, being a laser, we are using as an input, the laser can move very quickly and print the component cross section. So I can say if you want to produce a component with 1 cubical centimeter, I can say roughly, I'm just taking the one vague example because again, sometimes the complex component geometry matters, where I'll be going through the slow process, where the complex component complexity and the surface quality requirement is not much, then I'll be building the component with the higher speed. So we have the different speed equipments with us, and ultimately I can say to produce 1 cubical centimeter part, it takes hardly 1 hour time. So if you want to use the 200 mm size part with the medium complexity, by in a day I can able to produce the component. So here, again, not necessary that you have to build the only large component. You can take the smaller parts in one build and print multiple parts in one build. That is the key advantage with our technology. Yeah.
How is the material quality if AM is used in place of forge to machine components? Forged parts will have better grain flow structure than AM, which will affect the strength and functionality of the part.
Yes. See, this is another good question. I can say forged parts, in fact, I have a background of working with the foundry and forge. There is not necessary that all the parts will have the similar quality in case of casting as well as the forging. So with our technology, I can say it's a high performance parts what we can produce with this technology. Because of the laser sintering technique, it will allow you to build the part with the high grain quality. Here you need to understand what is happening with the laser sintering process is, I have the layer of the section which will be first melted, and before it solidify, I'll be printing the another layer of the powder and another layer of the cross section of the part. So from the previous layer to the next layer, I will be again using the laser to build the complete grain structure by using the laser exposure, and then allowing to solidify each other. I mean, the component is getting built with the high performance laser under the allowed environment, I mean solidification environment. So I can say there is a few case studies where we are achieving the better material properties or grain structures than the other technologies in case of AM. So our machines are predominantly used to attain the high quality, high properties based parts, not on the I mean no, just for the aesthetics or functional, I mean form fit requirements. So I can say most of our parts being used in the aerospace, where the many challenges in terms of the material parts as well as the certifications. And there is a many case studies I have for the space requirements. Probably once you share your mail ID, I can share these high performance parts with the consistent parts. So the objective of our AM machine is the part quality what you produce in the first, even on the 100th part also we want to produce the same quality, same properties, same grain structure. That is the key objective of our EOS technology.
We have one other question. The person wants to ask you directly, so I'll just unmute him.
Yeah, please unmute.
Mr. Bhargav,
hello, Mr. Kaladhar. This is Bhargav Jani from Ambigai Consultant Services.
Yeah, tell me.
Hello, Mr. Kaladhar. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good to hear you again. I think we have spoken before also. And thank you for the informative presentation from your side. It was nice to know the current status. And my question is regarding the software transition. So as you said, first we have to prepare the CAD model, and then we can convert it to STL, and then the EOS machine will handle the rest. So I wanted to ask you, is there some intricacies involved here? For example, if there are some complex geometries, maybe we need to build some supports, or maybe we need to do some additional software modeling, 3D modeling to make the part manufacturable in EOS machines. Is there something like this, or how is this transition exactly?
Yeah, thanks for this question, Parthu. Probably I would have covered this point while explaining the complete flow, our flow of EOS machines. Yeah. So this is one of the important parameter what normally customer will not consider while buying the equipment. So what I want to talk about here is the component. I mean, CAD model is not the end of AM requirement, including the CAD. There is a pre-processing requirements which will allow to save the money or build the right part using the AM technology. If you want to produce very simple parts or normal components, I will not be able to articulate the value using our technology, because technology is costlier and time taking. So obviously I need to build the part which suits to AM requirement. Here the question what you are asking is handling, how the software will handle. So here any component geometry needs the different expertise. For example, to answer the first part of your question, in case of plastic we don't need any support structures. In case of metals, because of the high density, we may be based on the component orientation, component geometry, we will be providing the support structures. So there is a two options within the, I was talking about our Dassault System portfolio 3D experience platform. Within the 3D experience platform, you have the solutions to build the structures for printing the components, where you will have the high quality components without any disturbance while printing the component. Second is within the EOS, they have the inbuilt software. EOS INT, you can see in my presentation earlier slides, EOS INT, where it will be, I can say magic software, EOS magic software, which will be allowing you to orient the component as per the geometry and the machine specifications, and it automatically builds the support structures also. Based on the geometry, it automatically builds the support structures. So this is the one of the area, time saving area, what our customers having the advantage with EOS printers. Whereas other printers or other technologies, you may be spending a lot of time to build the support structures, and once you build, not necessary that in the first attempt you will get the right quality part, because if you are not orienting the part rightly based on the printing capability of the machine and technology what you are using, the quality of the part will not be ensured. Second point I want to talk about is our technology even allows to work with the different outside material, not necessarily that you have to use only our materials, but when you are using our materials, you will be getting all the data information of the, data sheets of our materials, as well as the process parameters, how you have to print this part to attain the certain characteristics of the component. So complete data sheet and flow will be given to the customer. But however, technology is bit open. I can use even the third-party materials in our machine if I have the right parameter process in place. Otherwise, you can also seek a Additive Minds help to build the process for your new materials. So that is the one of the key advantage with the EOS machines. Am I addressed, Parthu?
Thank you for your question, Bhargav. We have another question. How would you justify the mechanical properties of metal prints?
How will you justify the mechanical properties of the metal print?
Yeah.
Okay. So in fact, when I was talking about the previous slides, I'll just go back to the previous slide here. So here you can see EOS state monitor software. Here, this software job is, it will monitor the component while printing. When you are printing the layer by layer, each layer will be scanned from the machine, monitored by this EOS state software. If you find any disturbances or discrepancies in your process, or you find any issues with the process, the software will tell you. And also there is a provision to customize the software, the quality of the, there is a few customers even taking these solutions, our support, without the quality test, what are the material, part quality properties is being printed under the certain conditions. So if I'm using the certain set of parameters, material, particular materials, then I can expect the quality of the part well in advance. That is the beauty of the software in EOS.
Another question, what will be the cost of AM printing approximately 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter?
I don't have much idea on this. Maybe my sales team can get back to you with the details.
Another question, does topology optimized part needs to be modified to meet the manufacturing constraints by AM?
Yes, we can look at both the sides. One is, the R&D team itself will work on the CAD and analysis tools and optimize the component, which will suit to the AM requirement. Or there is other way to work within the EOS. We have the solutions to optimize the component which suits to the AM requirement. So we have a process called DFAM, part selection process. So if you say that, no, please print this part using the EOS, we will not be printing. We will say why you want to print this. This can be used even with the traditional process and go with the lower cost. So what we do is we go through the DFAM process, design for additive manufacturing process, and we will be qualifying the part which suits to the AM requirement. So that will, then only you will be able to see the benefits of AM. from the cost perspective as well as the time perspective.
Another question. SLS has addressed AM in plastics and metals. What are the challenges associated with ceramics?
Yeah, see, when it comes to the ceramics, we are not using any ceramic materials in our printers, 3D printers with the EOS. But as a company, EOS partners portfolio, I can say the ecosystem, there is a company called Lithos, where they will be handling this area. So from the EOS, there is no direct solutions on this.
Another question, is there any limitations of size in additive manufacturing?
Yeah, see, obviously, the capacity of the machine, I mean, when I'm showing the product portfolio, I was talking about the sizes of the machine. Okay, you can look at this slide. The build component, the maximum component size what I can print in this machine is the 400 by 400 by 400. That means if it is beyond 400, I cannot print. So what we do, there is some areas where you can split the component. I was taking the example on the tire design. So tire design is, if you look at it, maybe a 1 meter or 1 meter in size, which I cannot print directly with the 400 mm machine. So what we do is they do the segmentation of the tire to allow part to eject while molding activity or vulcanizing activity. So we take that segments and print it here. There is a certain components. For example, with the EOS 396 machine, we have printed the bumper, car bumper, which may be around 2 meters in size. So what we have done is we split the component. We have given the assembly rips to lock the component once it is printed, and then we have carried out the post-processing activities because customer just wants to the form fit into the vehicle and test it, not for the functional, it's only form fit requirement. So in such cases, even it is a smaller machine, I can segment the part and I can print the multiple segmented parts in the EOS machine and assemble, use it for our functional as well as the form fit requirements. Especially I can say aesthetics as well as the form fit requirement.
We have another question related to size. What is the maximum size that can be dealt with here in additive manufacturing?
Come again, what will be the maximum?
What is the maximum size that can be dealt with in additive manufacturing?
Yeah, see, additive, I said that there is a, we have two portfolios. One is on the metals and the second one is on the polymers. In case of polymers, the maximum size possible to print is 800 mm. Whereas in metal machines, we have the current portfolio up to 400 mm. So in case of any higher size requirements, then we have the custom built solutions. Normally that is a time taking process. First of all, we will be qualifying the case, whether you will be able to see the ROI by buying this machine. And then we will order to the EOS for manufacturing. Normally it takes a year time to get that kind of custom made machines.
One attendee has asked you to repeat the tire example.
Tire example, okay. Yeah, I'll go to that slide. Yeah, so the extent what we are working with one of our customers is on the manufacturing the sipes. They have two key challenges what they told us. One is to print the complete mold for tire is taking too long. I mean, cycle time, they are procuring from the different countries. One customer was talking about this, I mean, Taiwan and China, other customer talking about Spain. So some customers are procuring the sipes from the Spain. They have the exclusive partners who are supplying the parts. So normally all these procurements, in case of the complete mold, it will take 3 months cycle time to get a complete molds. In case of sipes, it takes 15 days to 3 weeks time to get a sipes with normally they use in 100 quantity or 120 quantity, 150 quantity in each tire mold. So that kind of production quantities requirement, some customers already following the process of press tool. But press tool will not give you the taperness inside the sipes. So what they are doing is they are using our technology to print the sipes parts directly using our EOS technology. At a time, you can print 100 parts if you are having the bigger machine with you. That is the advantage. So irrespective of the shape, size, as well as the thickness, you can able to consider the taperness and then print the parts using the AM technology. When I'm deep diving into the customer discussion on the imports, that particular vendor is also using our EOS machine in Spain. That is what I get to know later. So he's printing that parts with the taper, I mean side parts with the taper in EOS machine and supplying to this Indian customer. So this kind of challenges can be overcome with the EOS technology. There is one more proposal which is going on with one of my tire customer is they wants to produce the complete tire mold in a week's time or maximum in a 10 days time. So that activity is currently rolling out with the customer, and we are in the process of proving within a week how you produce the complete mold components. Normally they use different grades of aluminum, and that we are trying to customize to their requirement.
We have another question. What about printing of conductive materials like copper?
Yeah, it's possible. As I said, there is a few grades which is available within our portfolio. I'm just going back to the material list of metals. Here I can say the standard portfolio what we have is these materials. But no, if at all you want to produce the copper, or if you want to produce the zinc-based materials, which is not our portfolio, but our technology will support that kind of materials. That is the advantage. No, you can choose any other third-party vendor who are supplying by specifications given from the EOS.
Another question. How is the aesthetic look in additive manufacturing?
Aesthetics look, probably I was showing some of the metal parts in the slides. Okay, let me see. This is the one of the metal part. This is the one of the metal part. So the look wise, you can see this dental geometry. So this is the surface finish. Normally depends again, if you want to produce the component quickly, then you can use the layer thickness as a higher side and print the component quickly, where you have to compromise on the surface quality of the parts. But it will be by default, it will be the smooth surface. You will not see the layer lines. It may be looking like a layer lines as a step, but it is not really. It will be like a smooth surface finish.
We have another question. Whether the EOS machines are based on SLS method only or any other AM methods also?
Repeat again, Abhay.
Whether the EOS machines are based only on SLS method or any other AM methods also?
Yes, yes. All our in case of polymers, we have the two portfolios. One is on the Syntratec and second is on the EOS. Both the portfolios we use the SLS technology, selective laser solidification technology.
Another question. What is the maximum size of the tire mold that can be made?
Yeah, again, as I told you, they will not print the complete tire in one stretch. They segment it, because once the component is molded, it has to be ejected from the mold. So what they do is they segment the complete mold. Once the mold is opening, then the tire will be taken out from the mold. So based on the segment size, predominantly, I am working with one of the car tire. That can be suiting with our M290 machine requirements. So the size of the component is about 250 mm by 250 mm. So it depends again what sizes they are segmenting, which is predominantly their manufacturing requirement. So then we will suggest the customer whether what size of the machine can be purchased for the size based on the size as well as the material needs. Okay, yeah, he's right actually. Yes, but there, if it is single mold, we will not be able to, add the value because it's a high size, high in terms of the size. And once I'm partitioning the component, if the customer is ready for the partitioning, then we can partition the component and recommend the assembly process. That is possible, but there is a chances of getting the parting line. When you are splitting the component, there is a chances of the parting line. Probably that can be parting line problems can be eliminated while doing the post processing activities.
There was one question. If you have any video to explain the process, could you play it?
This is talking about the tire.
No. General EOS 3D printing process.
Okay. Okay. Probably I'll just open. Yeah, you can see the video, Abhay.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is our M100 machine. It's a metal machine.
Sorry to
So
interrupt. Please make it in the full screen.
yeah, sure. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is actually M100 machine. Compact in size for producing the smaller component, especially the aerospace components and medical implants related components can be produced. So the machine usage as well as the utility will be very easy. It's a completely dust-free environment what you can run the machine. So you can insert the component, material powder. He's inserting the now chamber on the build plate on top of the chamber. And then the powder coating is happening currently. So the laser is realizing the cross section of the component based on the slices given by the CAD data. So it started melting the material wherever there is a cross section. Then second coating is happening. So the free powder, empty powder has been spreaded on top of the build chamber again, and then laser is again started melting the powder. So both the solidification will be happening from the previous layer to the current layer. So once the component is built, I'll be removing the excess material. There will be free float powder that will be removed from the chamber. So you can see here, the small, vertical needles kind of thing. It's a support structure, I can say. So support structures is not reusable based on the component geometry. We will be giving the minimum support structures because that also cost additional cost to the component. So this is, introduction about the technology, how it works. And you can go to the uis.info website where you will have the lot of case studies based on your industry vertical, as well as the couple of videos. In YouTube, we have the separate channel for UIS. So you can watch many customer case studies, customer videos, and the pre and the post processing activities. He's been available in the YouTube portal.
We have one other question. What are the different polymers used in additive manufacturing?
Different polymers.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. No, our material grades are predominantly on top of the nylon and the polystyrene, PP, PEEK. So there is engineering plastics with if at all you want to use for the high performance requirements. Whereas the other material grades like a PP and all, predominantly used for the aesthetics requirement. We have the complete portfolio. I can say almost 15 to 20 variety of materials with our portfolio. And also we have the partners, who can who will be supplying the materials based on the specific needs. And there is a few expectations from the customer, like I want a ABS material. So we have some grades which will give the equally the similar strengths to the ABS or PC, something like that. So we have the vast portfolio. Probably we can share the material portfolio brochure to you once you give us the mail ID.
We have another question. What are the post-processing features available in the machine?
Yeah, within the machine, there is no post-processing. There is a separate equipment need to be purchased. For example, if I'm removing the component from the chamber, I may require to depowder because there may be excess powder on inside the component. If the component is too complex, probably you need to remove by using the sandblasting machine. So our air machine, compressed air machine. So there is a closed, I mean, you need not to worry that powder will be spreading outside. It will be closed environment where you will be using that equipment and removing the excess powder. So this is one area. Second, if at all you want to remove the support structures, you need to break that structures without affecting the component. So there is a certain procedures and the post-processing activities to be carried out. Then we have the different expectations from the customers on the plastics. For example, I want to have a glassy finish. I want to have a film which will be printed on top of the plastic component, which should give the more aesthetics attractive looks. So that can be carried out as a post-processing activity with the different equipments. So it's again, I can say it's a big subject to work on the post-processing activity. We may come up with post-processing techniques as well as the technology available with our EOS solutions shortly. Probably we will be sharing that link to you.
We have one final question. What are the limitations of additive manufacturing?
What are the limitations? Again, I have covered a few. One is, there is a query that can I print the 1 meter part, or can I print the complete tire size? So that is one of the challenge. You cannot print the bigger size parts. That is the same challenge even in the conventional machines. So, but however, again, conventional machines, there is a flexibility to use the bigger sizes comparatively the AM technology. So that is one technology. Second is, adaptation. When it comes to the cost, predominantly all our products will have the challenge of cost. So as long as cost is a concern, probably AM may be having the limitation. So because the equipment as well as the technology and then the materials being used, customized material, I can say it's not the open materials. All this will be expensive, so cost may be higher side. So predominantly what I see is some material limitations, some I can say the size of the parts may be the limitation. And eventually there is a couple of case studies. One I have covered in this session. A couple of case studies. There is including some of the automotive top players are coming up with the AM setup for printing the batch size. Let us say if they want to produce 1,000 components, 5,000 components, they want to use our AM equipments instead of going ahead with the big plant setup for carrying out the multiple operations. So it's getting converted into the production area now. Already few of case studies is there in place with our. Yes. In case of any further queries, you can always mail us to this mail ID, kaladhar.mds@edstechnologies.com, and we will be sharing the respective information once we get any query or. So you will get a mailer from us and with the requested data.
I think we can end the session, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for your patience and participation, and look forward for your long-term association. Do let us know in case of any queries. Write to us. We will be responding as soon as possible. Thank you.